Here's our combine. This is a Case International 1660, so it's an older machine. These are an axial flow machine, which all modern machines pretty much are. I'm going to explain how this machine works. I'm making this video for a friend who thought that his big box held the grain and the reel of the header cuts it. Well, I'm sorry. There's a lot more to it than that. And all modern combines are the same basic design, although they've been changed up many times. Like, they're now basically autonomous and stuff and hard to work on stuff. I don't think all the changes have been for the better. I think this is pretty much a perfect machine basic as far as a good reliable mechanical machine. So I'll go through the machine and show you how everything works. As it turns out, the reel does not cut the crop. What the reel does is guide the grain into the header. And not all combines have this header. This is a straight cut grain header, and it's used to cut many things. But corn heads, there's corn heads and stuff too, pickup heads. They're different ones, and they're quick attach. You can change headers in minutes. But this is what does the cutting right here. This knife reciprocates. All these knife sections are replaceable, and the guards are replaceable because they sometimes get broke due to rocks and stuff. And they do wear out. But they're easily replaceable. Then the auger, it just uses a big auger to carry the stuff to the feeder house. Then these are retractable. These fingers here are retractable, like they're right out on the front side and right in on the back to prevent them prevent the grain from going around, but it feeds it into the feeder chain. I don't see what the heck I'm doing here, but this is the feeder chain right here. It feeds the grain into the rotor. Okay, here's the feeder house of the combine without the header on. We pulled the header. I'm gonna wash it. But this just hooks underneath the main support of the header, which is a square rectangular tubing. There are a couple latches underneath. I don't know if you can see it. That's all it takes to hold it. And then drive lines go on each side depending on the header. So with the pickup header we only need one. Then these hoses plug into it. There again, instead of having, we only need 2 hoses I think on the pickup header as opposed to 5. Here's what the feeder chain looks like. Now the rotor is in here. You can see it behind kind of. But there are rub bars on it, and the rub bars are on a helix to auger the grain up, and the grain and stuff falls through these wires. Like, the one disadvantage of an axial flow machine like this one is you have to change these concaves for doing big seed crops, like where these are your grain. These are for small seeds. They're actually progressively, on this it's actually progressive. These are closer together, these are a little farther apart, these are farther apart yet. This is fairly recent, a 9250 Case IH. So it's a newer machine. And you look, in the basic design of the axial flow combine has not changed a bit since ours. Okay, when you're done thrashing, the straw, of course, just keeps augering out the back. It's discharged out the back, but when you're done thrashing, you don't get clean grain. You get this. You get some wheat, you get some chaff, we're thrashing wheat, so that's what it is. You get chaff, you get some pieces of straw. It's not clean grain out of here. And on the axial flow, there's these transfer under here with augers. There's 4 augers under here. And although the straw is eliminated, this mismatch of stuff goes to the next step. Okay, here's what it looks like in the back of the combine. There are 2 sieves. This one here is the chaffer sieve. And these sieves reciprocate. And what it does is you get, like you see straw and stuff on here. This thing reciprocates and kicks it out the back. And in addition, this fan right here is used to blow air over the chaffer sieve. The speed of the fan is adjustable based on the crop you grow. So if you grow light crops, such as maybe you grow crops with small seeds or light seeds, like oats has the seed of wheat is very heavy and dense, but the seed of oats are light and more bulky. So, and canola of course is small, so you gotta reduce or increase the speed of the fan to change the airflow. If you have too much air, you're gonna throw grain over the back. You can't help it. We don't want to do that, so we gotta adjust our fan at the correct speed. Sieve is adjustable, like you close it. For small seeds like mustard or canola, you want it just about closed, whereas with wheat, we're harvesting wheat, so I got it open up a 1/2 inch. And this sieve's always open the most. This has actually got 2 parts. They got the back open slightly more than the front of it. I think modern combines, you adjust these from the cab. They're electronically adjusted, whereas these are all manually adjusted yet. Underneath the chaffer sieve is the shoe sieve. And what the shoe sieve does is it separates the grain from the unthrashed heads. Underneath the shoe sieve is a pit and a grain auger. And that auger feeds an elevator. I'll show you that later. Under here at the back of the shoe sieve is another pit with another auger. I'm going to close this shoe sieve just a tiny bit. I got set about 1/4 inch, which should be okay. I'm going to set about 732. The reason I've got to send a little more back to try and clean up the sample, because our sample's still... I'm going to try that. I just closed a little wee bit. I try that to clean up the sample, send a little bit more back. I may have to adjust this again in the field, but I'll try that. This back end of this sieve is open more. Let unthrashed heads that go over here go directly into the return. Okay, this here is the grain elevator, this bigger one. It goes up to the hopper, and this goes right under the shoe sieve in a pit, and it feeds that. This other auger, the one that's behind the shoe sieve, this is the return elevator. And the unthrashed heads, and you do get some grain go through, you can't help it, some bounces all the way back, but unthrashed heads travel up this elevator, and this thing feeds right back into the rotor, and it goes through again. Here's what the elevator looks like, just a chain with rubber paddles on both of them. And here's the hopper grain tank. This little flighting here levels out the grain. It helps you fill it better. Some have different designs now, but and there's your main flighting out. I'll show a view from above with the drone. You can see this loading. Then the hopper, I don't know if you can see from here, but there's augers in here that take the grain to the main unloading auger. These augers are just a screw to move grain. I'm gonna wash this. There's a little bit of crap I couldn't blow out, so I'm gonna wash this with a pressure washer, try and get as clean as I can. And here's the main unloading auger, which is retractable. It's hydraulic. You can see the hydraulic cylinder there. It's just a little guy that retracts it, that moves it in and out. This hopper holds 180 bushels. So some of the new combines hold over 500, but for us this combine's plenty good enough. Also a new combine's also $1.5 million too, so this combine's plenty good enough. And here's what this looks like inside. The auger goes straight vertical on to the main tube. Yeah, it does work. As a general rule, flatter an auger is, the better it works, but this is straight vertical and it works. So that's how the unloading system works. And the propulsion for this is hydrostatic propulsion, is how this combine runs on hydrostatic propulsion. There's 3 lines here. There's a control and 2 other return, and this big pump is what gives the power off the back of the engine. This is what drives the motor here, which runs your wheels. So that's how it's infinitely variable. Here's the pickup header right here. And all it uses is a system of belts with teeth on, just to pick a swath up. And then it goes into the combine. It's a lot narrower than the straight cut header, but don't let it fool you. You can pick up a swather could cut a huge swath. We use a narrower swather than what the header is, but some people, and that's typical actually, but you could pick up a 25-foot swath theoretically with this. Easy. I'll show this in action. Last year we swathed our canola, which we always do. You can swath cereal crops too, and other crops, there's no problem with that, but, well, not corn and sunflowers, but cereal crops, peas, beans, whatever. And I'll show you this in action with our canola crop last year.